So the last few days, there's been some discussion about wood processing on some of the channels, and so I just thought I'd kind of go over a few of these things here. This first saw up front here, that's a Sawviver, and that was my choice for years and years and years. It really folded up small, and it was definitely a step above the Sven saw. And but when I found these other pruning saws, I really liked them better. Now the second saw, that was fairly expensive. It was a $65 saw, and it didn't survive a long trip with my son. He broke the tip off and he broke one of the teeth. But last year on our 3-week canoe trip in the fall, we used that Parvel up there at the top, and we didn't use that particular saw, but we used my son's saw like that. I was very impressed with how well it cut and its price. It was less than $20. And I have a small one that's just not with me right now. And it folds into the handle. And for a solo trip, that's probably plenty. But we cut some pretty good sized trees with this saw here, this green saw. And we were talking about wood processing, splitting. And until I watched YouTube, which was, I started a year and a half ago, I had never seen anyone split firewood with a knife before. Not ever, ever did I ever see anyone do that in the woods. Most of the people I go with, they're pretty ultralight. They don't have very large knives at all. In fact, these two knives right here, outside of a couple of military knives that were passed down to me, they're the largest knives I own. I don't have big knives, but I can see where a larger knife, yes, it weighs more, but it's going to weigh less than that axe right there. And that little Gerber weighs 1 pound, I think 4 or 1 pound 5 ounces. Now on a winter trip, when I'm pulling a sled, I always take a saw and an axe. But backpacking, I rarely take either a saw or an axe. I just break up small wood. And I used to do that camping or on canoe trips as well. I'd carry a saw, but not an axe. And now the last trips we've gone on, we take a wood stove, and we go late in October, so I have been carrying an axe. So I guess you say, well, do you just carry a bigger knife or do you carry an axe? I guess it's all personal preference. But I'm going to have to play around with splitting wood with a knife and just see how I like it. Thanks for joining me.